How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
So while the Mumbai Indians look to close out this innings, we will still start with our halftime analysis on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for timeout. Looks like they've done all right, getting wickets in the last 5 to keep Titans to a score less than 200, where at one stage perhaps they thought they could have aimed for more. Wasim, Jaffer, Cheteshwar Pujara and ESPN Cricket Force Dustin, Silgardo with me. Now, who was closest to first innings predictions? Mr. Jaffer, as always. You're in good form today, Wasim, I've seen.
Almost bang on.
Almost bang on. What did he say? 195?
195, yes.
And it looks like they've got 196 to close with. So let's try
One of those Hardik wides has got you out of it.
One of those Hardik wides. No,
There
they
were
bowled
many wides
14
actually today.
wides. But Wasim calculated all that and said 196. Right. Is that a good enough score? Is that a par or above par score looking at the surface, Wasim?
I think Gujarat will be a little disappointed with the kind of start they had got. They would have liked 210 to 220 because they had wickets in hand, and then suddenly they lost 3, 4, 0. That 5, 6, 7. So that would have hurt them. But I think MI will be happy from this, the place they were in.
The thing is that these days you try and break down T20 batting efforts looking at strike rates on the scorecards, Puji, and Sai at 153, Gill 140, Butler 160, Rutherford 160. Those are all the batters who played at least 10 balls. So I'm counting them. So there's no that that 200 big sort of 210, 220 finish, or like Tim David last night. I'm trying to think if this innings was always going to end at 196, 200 only, no?
Well, you also have to consider the kind of pitch you are playing on.
Right.
And this one seems like it's slightly on the slower side. There is a little bit of turn for the spinners. There is variable bounce as well. So on that pitch, I don't think anyone can bat at strike rate of 200. You need to be having a great day, and you need to have that special talent. And I'm sure there are so many talented players out there, but even the bowling has to be poor to bat at strike rate of 200 on that pitch. And I think Gujarat has a decent total on the board. It will be very challenging for Mumbai Indians to get there.
Yeah, and also, GT did get off to a fast start, in fact, today. We were all talking about that power play batting, but they got 66 in the power play.
Yeah.
But then there were 2 very good overs, where I think Hardik bowled an over for hardly 5 runs.
Yeah.
And then Santner also bowled a really good over for 4 runs. So that the bowling also was good, which is why they maybe didn't end up getting a huge score, because they kept getting good overs in when the batters were in rhythm.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that power play, though, the 5th and 6th over, they got 35.
Yeah.
So 4 overs, it was still 31 without loss. And I guess every game we'll keep thinking, Sai and Shubman, is that working? Can they maximize their batting resources any better? The conversation we had in the pre-show also.
I still feel Butler, if he can open the innings, Sai Sudarshan can bat at number 3. And look, he batted really well today also. He has got another 50 in the, I think it's the first game. So he has been batting well, I'm not denying that, but I still feel Butler, if he can get more number of balls, if he can get some time to settle in and then start playing his shots, then he can be a match winner. Number 3, I think there is a bit more pressure on him. The time is less. He's walking in after the power play. So you're not maximizing the potential which Butler can offer.
Yeah, I'm curious on the pitch talk also, because it was a slow, so it's not what we saw between Punjab and Gujarat, where you got 450 runs or more than that, 500 almost runs. Parthiv Patel spoke to the broadcast in the middle and said, this is a black soil surface, it's a bit slow, and we picked this surface to play Mumbai Indians on.
And this is just after Stephen Fleming has said that they are not really getting a say in the Chennai pitch.
I mean, either that or they misread it. Puji was saying it's very surprising if a team like that is not at least looking at, surfaces of looking at opposition. But is that a clear indicator that at GT, at Ahmedabad, they are thinking of these things, and why not? You should maximize
Yeah,
your
they've
advantage.
got Rashid, they've got Sai Kishore, and they can use another spinner if they need to with that impact sub. So why not? The pitch is offering a little bit of spin. It's a relatively bigger boundary, so why not?
I love what you said yesterday. The bigger franchises obviously do it. So Gujarat are also one of the bigger franchises.
They are getting there, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just early days for them. It's been few seasons now, but they are settling in. Their squad is also looking like they are investing on young players, and it's also settling in. And they are going to make the best of home advantage. And every franchisee normally does it. I would just repeat why CSK can't. I mean, they have been doing it for quite some time, and if they are saying that they didn't get what they want, I think it's more like the pitch didn't behave the way they wanted.
Yeah, they might have just misread the pitch. That I guess is a likelier thing, but we'll see how that plays out. Hardik Pandya's use of his bowlers, it was interesting that he didn't bowl himself in the first 6. He also left it very late, where we thought maybe there could be a spinner that bowls the 20th over. What do you make of Hardik's use of his bowlers, Wasim?
I think he used the power play, I thought, really well. He bowled himself really well. He bowled 3 overs for 18. So I thought that's where they put the pressure back on the GT, even after not losing too many wickets. We always knew that they're going to struggle, but actually they did well in the death overs. They took 5 wickets in the death overs. With their bowling, you will look like they're going to struggle in the death overs. With Trent Bolt, who's not known to bowl in the death overs, Deepak Chahar, the newer guy Raju, he's also relatively new. Until Bumrah comes in, their death bowling is going to struggle, but I thought they did well. They come back into the game.
I was wondering why Hardik is not saving an over of himself for the death, but then I quickly went and checked the stats and I realized in the last 2 IPL seasons, he only bowled 4 overs in the death and he went for almost 17 runs per over. So probably he also knew that that's not my strength. I want to bowl that short of length, short kind of length. So maybe that's why he bowled that.
He either prefers to bowl in the power play or in the middle overs. He's not quite suitable for the death overs, so he's not doing that, and I think he's right with that. And there's a lot of challenge for him being a captain, because if you look at that bowling lineup, especially the seamers, they are not probably the best seamers in the IPL, and
especially
when you
death
don't
bowling.
have death bowling, and when you don't have Bumrah, because he's the best in T20 or any format, and if you are missing him, then you are dealing with the young players, someone like Raju who hasn't played a lot of IPLs, and you need to make you want someone like him to be at his best, and which is, under pressure it's never easy. So Hardik also has to deal with players who are not experienced enough, but slowly I think he will settle in.
I'm just trying to think though, Rohit has bowled him at the death in the T20 World Cup most famously. In the absence of Bumrah, is that a better option than leaving an over to Raju? Today, they lost enough wickets. Tewatia got run out. So who knows? An over from Raju to a Tewatia or at least a more accomplished batter could be a 20-run finish, and that sometimes changes the game. No? Did they get away with that today?
Hardik needs to back himself, and I don't know whether he's confident enough to do that.
Sure. Okay, interesting.
Maybe it's the length, because this Raju clearly can bowl that fuller length, and they knew someone like Rutherford had struggled against that length and line wide outside off in the previous game. So maybe Hardik felt that I don't know if he feels he has a better matchup against Shah Rukh Khan or something, that's when he decided to bowl.
I believe Ishant Sharma is having a lot of chat with Ashish Nehra just at the boundary side at the Narendra Modi Stadium. So let's assume that Ishant will come on, because we've seen this to be a slower surface, whether there was a case perhaps to... If you just have a look at the options, Washi can also be an option. If
You're a big fan of Ishant Sharma, no? From the beginning of this game, you've been pushing for him.
I am a fan of cricket. And Ishant has played lots of cricket. So I am a lots of fan of Ishant, if that makes any freaking sense. All right. But Washi could be an interesting option. The ball, what do you make of the spinners? Let's break that down, because they made a big call by playing Mujibur Rahman, and he was taken down, did get a wicket. Santner didn't bowl too much. So is there enough for the spinners, or is this more a pacer?
There is enough for the spinners, but at the same time we have seen variable bounce, and even seamers are effective because they can bowl the slower ball. They can, on this pitch, you can still rely on bowling back of length or still hit that good length spot and still get away with it. So I feel that seamers have a better chance of picking up a wicket rather than spinners, because they already have 2 spinners. So there is no point bringing in another spinner.
Yeah, all right. Wasim?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think Ishant with the new ball, I think makes a lot of sense. He can give them that breakthrough. Prasid doesn't look, that in that good a form, the way he bowled. It's only early days.
When he bowled Rabada 3 in the last game, I remember, which is unusual. Normally you don't bowl Rabada that much, but you've got Rabada, you've got Siraj, and you've got Prasid. Now you've got Ishant. So what are the roles for you here? You can even start with spin sometimes against Rohit Sharma. Teams tend to do that.
Yeah, you can, but I think, Rashid and Sai Kishore, that's where you choke the batting after the power play. So I think fast bowlers should bowl ideally 5 overs at least in the power play.
All right, let's break down some of the other innings. Spoke of Sai Sudarshan. What do you make of Gill? Because looks like a pretty, determined, ultra-aggressive almost Shubman Gill this
No,
season.
he's batting really well. I feel not just in this IPL, but overall, the way he has been batting, it looks like he's timing the ball really well. There was a phase where he wasn't, batting well, but now it feels like he's back in form. And this different approach of playing a bit more positive is obviously helping him, but at the same time, he'll have to find the right balance because he looked disappointed when he got out, and you want to cash in when you are set. That was the perfect time for him, to score a big 50 and maybe get to 100 as well.
Yeah.
But he missed out on that opportunity.
It was also the fourth time in 5 innings, I think, that Hardik Pandya has got Gill out. So that's a bit of a matchup that's in Hardik's favour.
Can someone explain that matchup? Because it's not like there is anything about Gill's batting that lends itself to there's a
it might
weakness
be
to Hardik.
and especially a short ball. I mean, to be honest, Gill, the pull shot is his shot. So why would he not go for a pull? It's just that Hardik tends to bowl a good short ball.
Do you sense there's a little bit of maybe some healthy rivalry there? That both, I guess, in leadership positions in Indian cricket, both superstars of their franchise and for India. But 4 times in 5, Hardik getting Gill is not something I would have imagined when they started. And 18 balls, it's a pretty small sample size.
Well, I feel it's just the right length. Hardik tends to bowl that back of length, and he has been using that short ball quite effectively. And Gill is someone who has little bit of vulnerability when it comes to that length. It is his scoring opportunity, but at the same time, when it doesn't get it right, you do get dismissed from that length.
Since he plays the short ball so well, actually, and of good pacers, maybe something about Hardik's pace and how Gill plays that it can lead to a wicket.
Just
more.
watching him, it looks like he gets cramped for room. He doesn't plays it like Ponting or the Rohit Sharma type. So he gets cramped up for room, and I think that was well directed from Hardik as well. It didn't give him that much pace, and that was a good catch as well from Namadi. It looked very easy, but it went really hard, really fast. So well done to Hardik actually.
Following him was Jos Buttler, 39 of 24. Is he looking like he's getting to his best, or is he already there, Jos Buttler, even though he's playing in an unusual position?
I think it's an unusual position. Ideally, obviously, we've talked about the opening is probably the best spot because then he can kick on and get big 100, which he's used to doing in IPL very often. But I think he's looking at his best, even though he hasn't got there yet. But as the tournament goes on, I think he's looking pretty good.
I mean, his challenge is for an opening batter who likes to play the new ball field up to then start in the middle. Is Buttler looking like he's comfortable there? Looks all right?
He looked comfortable.
Right.
There is no doubt about it, because if someone else would have walked in at number 3, I'm sure the pitch and the situation wasn't ideal. So it was because of the Butler's innings. They had the right platform. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize in the last 5 overs. But the platform was set for them to get past 200 mark. And that was because of the Butler's innings.
I think Tewati has been run out twice in 2 games now, isn't it? Last game as well. He's looking very
Although
angry.
today, honestly, MI, apart from that in the field, they actually gave away quite a few runs, right? Because of the drop catch, 1 overthrows for 5, and then
there was a
misfield as well. So
they've done that
actually, they've conceded about 10, 15 extra runs.
Well. Total I think 15 odd extras in this, including 14 wides. Not to mention Hardik Pandya was penalised for excessive time and whatnot. So that way, slightly untidy performance from MI. Today.
Very unlike MI.
Now let's look ahead to the chase. Do we sense this pitch will get any easier? Any indication of dew or any of that might make
I
the
think
batting?
dew might come in. It should make it easier for MI. It's not a very, very high par score. So you would expect this batting lineup to chase this down. But if Rashid bowls well, Rashid and Sai Kishore, I think, will play a very important role.
And they are playing at their home ground. I'm sure at this time of the year, the dew doesn't come in. Even if it comes, it won't be like when you play in winter. So I think dew wouldn't be a major factor, and you can change the ball as well. So I feel the pitch will be even difficult in the second half because it's slightly on the slower side. There are some cracks as well. So it won't be easy for MI. And if Gujarat team bowls well in the power play, if they pick up 2 or 3 wickets, then there is a lot of pressure on MI's batting line.
You need in these services. You're looking at your experienced guys, aren't you? Rohit Sharma and Surya. If it's not as easy for the hitting
Also,
through the
but
line. and-
this kind of total, if somebody like Rickleton just gets off to a fast start, that can also break
well,
the game. You
my
might not
thinking
use-
is if the surface is like that, then it may not be easy for Rickleton today.
I think foreign players will struggle on this.
Which could be
because
why
if you-
they dropped Jacks.
Yeah.
It could very well be today
Yeah.
why they dropped Jacks and they said this is not the game for him. They'll probably get the Indian batter, which looks like it'll be Robin Minge, I'm assuming. That's the only batter I can recall on the impact subs bench for
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians. Where Minge bats is another question. If they keep him sort of too late, they have Hardik Pandya now. All right, let's get predictions. Dustin.
I'm going to go for, because I think Dew might play a role, I'll say, am I getting through?
Just told you both of them it's not going to play a role. You don't
There's some
listen.
15 degrees difference I saw. I read the weather report.
You're going by the weather report, not by the collective wisdom of Cheteshwar Pujara and Wasim Jaffer. Tomorrow I'll not have him, I promise. Okay, 66% says Gujarat Titans on Cricinfo's win probability, 33% to Mumbai Indians. That keep being in mind. Puji, your prediction.
I'm going with GT because
GT.
I feel they have enough runs on the board.
Wasim?
I said Gujarat at the start of the game, so I'm going to back Gujarat.
I will go with them. I'm going to say Gujarat as well. Okay, because I think they've got enough and I'm trusting win probability. It's due a result. Gentlemen, thank you. Let's see if it is 2 losses out of 2 for MI or GT at the end of it. Wasim, Puji, Dustin, we'll have the chat. We'll invite your questions and comments as well. It's a big game for both the Titans and the Mumbai Indians. We'll see how it goes. And join us for post-match analysis on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.